وصلی اللہ علی النبی الکریم رب اشرح لی صدری ویسر لی امری واحلل عقدۃ من لسانی یفقہوا قولی. The topic for this day is prophetic mission in history. Prophetic mission in history. History is the record of human activities. There are two branches of history: secular history and religious history. Secular history is the history of civilization. Secular history is the history of material civilization. Secular history is the history of material civilization. And religious history is the history of spiritual civilization. The religious history, here I would like to say a few words about the religious history. Religious history consists of biblical literature and archaeological finding, and to some extent philosophical studies. But the most authentic source of religious history is Al-Quran. Quran is the only authentic source of the record of religious history. Now, if you read Quran, you will find that Quran gives us the account of prophetic history. The basic concern of Quran is prophetic history. This history is started from the first prophet, that is Adam, and ended up to the final prophet, Muhammad bin Abdullah bin Abdul Muttalib sallallahu alayhi wasallam. When we read Quran, we will find that at one side, Quran tells us that Muhammad was the final prophet. وَلَٰكِن رَسُولَ اللَّهِ وَخَاتَمَ النَّبِيِّينَ. Also, in Hadith, it is mentioned in very clear word that خُتَمَ بِهَا النَّبِيُّونَ یا or La Nabi Abadi. So at one side, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was the last prophet or final prophet. It means that he is the source, he is the only source of religious discipline. But at the same time, we find that Quran tells us another commandment, seemingly different to the first. That is, that Quran mentions 25 prophets of the history by their name. And then Quran says, أولئك الذين هدى الله فبهداه مقتدى. These were the guided person. These were the guided prophets. فبهداه مقتدى. So you have to follow them. You have to follow them. فَبِهُدَاهُ مُقْتَدِي. This verse addresses Muhammad bin Abdullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So if Muhammad was the last prophet or final prophet, then why he was revealed this verse that you have to follow other prophets? It is a question. Now, after long study, I found that there are two different parts of religion. First is theoretical part, and the second is the practical part. By theoretical part, I mean its ideology, its belief system, its moral values. This is the theoretical part of divine religion. Then there is the practical part. Practical part basically is related to the practical situations. You know, practical situations always varies. So, according to the principle تتغير الأحكام بتغير الزمان والمكان, it becomes imperative to set different practical models. When the situations varies, then it is but natural that models also varies. So, the Quranic verse فَبِهُدَاهُ مُقْتَدِي means all the prophets are authentic models. Although the ideology and theoretical system was one and the same between all the prophets, but different prophets came to different situations, different people, different time and place. So they adopted different models. They tried to translate their ideas into different ways, different methods. So this is the reason why the ideology is one, but models are different. So Prophet of Islam, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, was also sent in a specific situation. He was born in Arab. At that time, Arab was a country where shirk was prevalent everywhere. There was no civilization, but there was shirk culture. So in such situation, Prophet of Islam adopted a model to translate the eternal ideas into practice. So Prophet of Islam adopted a specific model that suited to his situation, to his circumstances. So Fawaiduha Muqtadeh means, as the Quran is a final book, final revelation, so Quran gives us a direction through this verse that you have to adopt, as far as the theoretical aspect is concerned, you have to adopt the same eternal ideology. But as far as the practical situation is concerned, you have to see your situation, and then you have to study the different models adopted by the different prophets. So 25 prophets means 25 models. So which one of these models is more applicable to you? So you have to adopt that model which you find that it is more suitable to your situation, to your conditions. This is the interpretation of that verse, فَبِهُدَاهُ مُقْتَدِي. Here you will find that here is a very important question. Muslims are followers of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. At present, there are more than 1 billion Muslims throughout the world. They claim to be followers of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But there is a question. Everyone feels that Muslims find themselves in a blind way alley. They are struggling. They are doing jihad. They are launching different movements, but in vain. No positive result. Muslim scholars of this age issued fatwa that except Muslim land, all the world is Darul Harb. But there was no result. Then they said that we have to do jihad against our enemies. And they waged jihad, but after great sacrifices in terms of life, in terms of money, there is no result. No result at all. Even they went to the extent that they issue fatwa that now we have to migrate. The time is Hijrah. And many Muslims migrated from this country and that country, but no result. So they are, according to their own conviction, they are following the model of Muhammad. You know, Muhammad migrated from Mecca Muhammad launched jihad, so they are doing they are following that model, Muhammadan model. But why it is that at that time Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and his followers achieved great victory, but in our present age there is no such achievement, no victory. And now Muslims are living as a defeatist mentality. Every Muslim lives in a defeatist mentality. So, in our present age, Muslims feel that we are living in a blind alley. There is no way out. The door is closed. Why? This is the question. So I would like to say that here we have to re-study that verse, فَبَهُدَهُ مُقْتَدِي. Then we will discover what is the wrong with us. I think that in the present situation, that model became irrelevant. Model of the Al-Harb, model of Hijrah, model of Jihad. The model based on these conceptions is now irrelevant. Why? Because the situation is completely changed. For example, let us take Hijrah concept. Now Hijrah is impossible. Now we are living in a world where in every country there are national governments. Modern concept of nationalism, according to the modern concept of nationalism, the Hijrah concept is quite irrelevant. Now it is impossible. Those who don't know the modern concept of nationalism may talk in terms of Hijrah. But those people who know that we are living in an age where there is nationalism everywhere, in every country. So the modern concept of nationalism, after the advent of modern concept of nationalism, Hijrah became obsolete, irrelevant, anachronistic idea. Then let us take jihad. Jihad is all. Jihad in the sense of qatal. Jihad in the sense of peaceful struggle is okay. But jihad in the sense of qatal is irrelevant. Why? Because now we are living in the age of weapons of mass destruction. Mass destruction. How you can do jihad? Quran and Hadith, we find some verses in the Quran and also some references in the Hadith that tell us that you have to prepare for jihad in terms of horses and in terms of arrows. أَعِدُّوا لَهُم مَّا اسْتَطَعْتُم مِّن قُوَّةٍ وَمِن رِّبَاطِ الْخَيْلِ. That is horses. Then there is hadith that أَلَا أَنَّ الْقُوَّةَ الرَّمْيِ. So now you know you cannot fight a war with horses and with arrows, with sword. Now we are living in an age where weapons of mass destruction. We are living in the age of weapons of mass destruction. How you can fight in such an age? Even after the advent of this age, war became irrelevant, because in this war there is no victor. Hitler was a great believer in war, in fighting. But when he suicided, after defeat, when he suicided in Berlin's bunker, he said that now the age of war is over. We cannot find any victory. Now, if there is any war, then there is no victor, only survivor. So victory and defeat both became one and the same. There is no victor, and though I know you can see in Iraq, you can see the example of Iraq, you can see the example of Afghanistan. There is no victor, only destruction. So this model, which is based on hijrah and jihad, became irrelevant. Now we have to restudy that chapter of the Quran. When we restudy and find the solution to this problem, we will find a very relevant verse in the Quran. That is Surah, there is chapter As-Saf. Chapter As-Saf. That is chapter number 61. In this chapter, the last verse is like this. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kunu ansar Allah qala al-hawariyun nahnu ansarullah fa'amanat ta'ifatun min bani Israila wa kafarat ta'ifa fa'ayyadna alladhina amanu ala aduwwihim fa'asbahu zahirin. This is a Quranic verse. You can read it in the chapter 61. This verse addresses Muslims. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. This Quranic verse addresses Muslims and say, O Muslims, O believers, you have to follow the pattern of Jesus Christ. It's very strange, but it is. You have to follow the pattern of those disciples who followed the directions of Jesus Christ. This verse addresses Muslims and not Jesus Christ's followers. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kunu ansar Allah kama qala Isa ibn Maryam lil hawariyyin min ansarillah. So this verse tells us that you have to follow that pattern which was directed from Jesus Christ to his disciples. And what was that pattern? What was that pattern? This pattern was not based on jihad concept or war concept. This pattern was based completely on peaceful dawah. Peaceful dawah. Prophet Jesus Christ or Masih said to his followers, give to Caesar what is due to Caesar. Give to God what is due to God. It means that, at that time, Romans were the rulers of Palestine. Jesus Christ was born in Palestine, in Jerusalem, And at that time, Palestine was under the rule of Romans. So Caesar means Roman king, Roman ruler. So Christ said that give to Caesar what is due to Caesar, and give to God what is due to God. It means that you have to avoid political confrontation from the political rulers. Don't fight with Roman rulers. Don't confront with political rulers. But find opportunities in the field other than politics. He told his disciples that although in political term, Romans are ruling Palestine, but at the same time, there are enormous opportunities of dawah work, peaceful dawah work. Although Roman rulers are king of our country, but there are other fields, other than politics where you can find opportunities for peaceful dawah work. So avoid politics, avoid political confrontation, and avail those opportunities present in the fields other than politics. So disciples of Christ followed this pattern, this model. So when Quran says in this chapter that you have to follow the model of Christ, I think that it was predicted that day will come when you have to adopt that model. This Quranic verse is like a prediction, a direction in advance. It was a divine direction given in advance to the Muslims. So I think that we are living in that situation. When that model, which was given by final prophet, is now become irrelevant, impossible to adopt, when you have to return that model according to the Quranic injunction. So now there is no room for hijrah, now there is no room for jihad. In present situation, you cannot declare that this country is Darul Harb and that country is Darul Harb. It is quite against the international norm. To declare that this country or that country is Darul Harb, it is quite against the international norm. So all these kind of thinking are now irrelevant. We are living in the age of United Nations, in the age of nationalism, in the age of weapons of mass destruction. All these things have changed the situation completely. So in such a situation, we have to re-study that verse of the Quran. In this Quranic verse, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kunu ansar Allah kama qala Isa ibn Maryam lil hawariyin man ansari ilallah qala al hawariyun inna ansarullah. So this Quranic verse is like like a divine direction in advance. This is in the Quran. We read this verse, but we fail to understand the meaning. So this verse was an advance direction to the Muslims that the day will come when the situation will be quite different. Then you have to adopt this model. Now here I would like to add that according to this, there is also a prediction in Hadith that is regarding the second coming of Christ, second coming of Jesus Christ. There are several Hadiths, several traditions in Hadith literature that tell us about the second coming of Christ. People generally take this take this in the sense that Christ will return with his body. It is nonsense. I have studied all these literature. I can say that second coming of Christ is okay, is correct. But this second coming means second coming of Christ model and not Christ's body. The concept of second coming of Christ is correct. But second coming of Christ means second coming in terms of model and not in terms of body. I think that we are living in that age. All the situation has been changed. Now we have to adopt that model, which was given by Jesus Christ. That is peaceful dawa work. No political confrontation. Peaceful dawa work without any kind of political confrontation. So this model, which was given by Jesus Christ, is most relevant in our age. And this is the second coming of Christ. And this second coming of Christ, in terms of model, is described in the Quran in Surah As-Saf, chapter number 61. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kunu ansarallah kama qala Isa ibn Maryam lil hawariyin man ansari ilallah qala al hawariyun nahnu ansarullah fa'amarat ta'ifatun min bani Israil wa kafarat ta'ifa فَأَيَّدْنَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا عَلَىٰ عَدُوِّهِمْ فَأَصْبَحُوا ظَاهِرِينَ. So this is the second coming of Christ. That is coming back in terms of model rather than in terms of body. So we have to reassess the whole situation. now the time is of reassessment. We have to reassess the whole situation. Present Muslims are living in blind alley. They have become directionless. They find that every door is closed. All those actions which was based on the concept of Lawul Harb, the concept of Hijrah, and the concept of Jihad has become irrelevant in our present age. So now we have to reassess the whole situation. I can say that in divine religion, the ideology is eternal. Ideology is eternal. Our belief system is eternal. Theoretical model is eternal. But the practical model is different. And practical model, there are several available models in the Quran. As you know, Quran mentions 25 prophets by their name. So according to the Quran, these are 25 models and applicable to different situations, different conditions. So we have to read our situation. We have to know in what situation we are living at present. Then we have to read the prophetic history given in the Quran. And then we find out which one of those models is applicable to our situation. I can say that after long study, I found that in our present situation, that model is applicable. That model is more applicable that was given by Jesus Christ. And this model is based on the concept of peaceful dawah work. Peaceful dawah work. So we have to adopt this model. We have to avoid political confrontation completely. No political confrontation at all. All these political confrontation has become unwarranted in our age. So we have to adopt the formula that avoid political confrontation and avail dawah opportunities. This is the formula that is relevant to our modern condition. Any other formula is now irrelevant. So, useless. Even there is a risk of being counterproductive. So we have to abandon all those models, and we have to adopt that model. We have to follow that model which is based on this formula: avoid political confrontation and achieve and avail the opportunities. Avoid political confrontation and avail the opportunities present in our age. This is the only way out. This is the only way to success.